There's a fundamental difference between silence and quietness, even though people often use them interchangeably. You see, wherever you find silence, investigate. It can often indicate suppressed voices or even a brewing storm. Look, when silence is externally imposed, either through fear or control, it creates a fragile equilibrium. It's a bubble and it can burst anytime. In a romantic relationship, for instance, silence could mean comfort, but at the same time, it could signal withdrawal or emotional stagnation. The greatest danger with silence is that it can mask turbulence. Look at this now. When a dam is holding back a mighty river, there is silence downstream. But when it bursts, the flood will reveal what was always there, unacknowledged tension. But you see, quietness on the other hand is cultivated. It arises from balance, understanding, and inner peace. Quietness doesn't hide chaos. It embraces it and mentors it. Quietness is what happens when people create an environment of calmness from within. Imagine a forest, for instance. Silence is when all the animals stop making noise, which could signify that a predator is near. Whereas quietness in that same context is the gentle rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant sound of a stream. It is a harmony of expressions as against the absence of them. Now that's the differentiating factor. Now here's my submission: that we transform our lives from being merely silent to being quietly alive, where every sound, thought, and action finds its place without chaos or suppression. I've come to learn that not all anger is destructive. Some anger is divine. It rises when we see our lives and our world as it is and decide that it can be better. It is called righteous anger. It is not reactive. It's not the momentary frustration of being stuck in traffic or the sting of disrespect. Righteous anger is rooted in value. For instance, if you feel anger when people are treated unfairly, it could point to a core value of justice. If you are like me and you are infuriated by wasted potential, it might stem from your belief in growth and possibility. If exploitation or corruption enrages you, it likely reflects your desire for transparency and integrity. Righteous anger is like boiling water. Imagine a tea bag placed in that water. The water itself doesn't change the tea bag, but it activates what is inside the tea bag, drawing out flavor and richness. Righteous anger can activate what is already within you: your values, your passions, your sense of purpose. The key, however, is to not let it boil over so it doesn't consume you. So whenever you feel that fire within, don't suppress it, investigate it. It might be pointing you towards the work only you are equipped to do. Righteous anger is the soul's way of saying this must change. You don't necessarily experience what you have. You experience what you know that you have. Walk with me. Say for instance, this morning you tell me to send you $1,000. But the thing is, you don't receive alerts on your phone. I send you the money immediately and the money drops into your account. You now have the money. But because you don't receive credit alerts, you can't experience the feeling that comes with having $1,000. Because even though ideally you have it, but realistically speaking, you don't know that you have it. Now say you call me later at night and ask me if I've sent the money, and I tell you, oh, I've sent it in money. What automatically happens to you? Your mood is lifted, not necessarily by the money, because you haven't touched it yet. What made you overjoyed is simply the knowledge that you now have $1,000. What am I saying in essence? There are so many things that you have that you may not know that you have. So I'll list a couple of them here. Walk with me. You are wiser, older, and stronger than your birth certificate suggests. When you harness the fullness of your willpower, there's no force on earth that can stop you. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You are non-fungible, one of one. There has never and will never be a living, breathing human with the same algorithm, raw materials, and intentionality of thought and purpose it took to create you. You are the very first and the last of your kind. Know this and know peace. Now, allow yourself experience what you now know that you have.